In the year 2189, humanity had reached the farthest edges of the solar system, exploring planets and moons once thought impossible to traverse. The most promising discoveries lay beneath the surface of the ice-covered moon Europa, where ancient alien artifacts had been found, dormant for millennia. These artifacts were remnants of a civilization long gone, their purpose unknown and their technology unfathomable. Dr. Mira Albright, a brilliant xenotechnologist, had spent her entire career studying these artifacts. Her latest expedition was funded by the Interstellar Research Coalition, a conglomerate of Earth's leading scientific bodies. The team had established a base beneath Europa's icy crust, a hub of activity surrounded by shimmering tunnels of blue ice, lit by the soft glow of artificial lights. The artifacts they had uncovered were enigmatic structures, spherical in shape, and covered in intricate patterns that pulsed faintly. Their surfaces were smooth and cool, a stark contrast to the chilling environment of Europa. Mira and her team had been analyzing them for months, but despite their advanced technology, the artifacts remained inert, offering no clues to their purpose. One evening, while the team gathered in the common area, Mira received a call from the head of the expedition, Dr. Raj Patel. "Mira, we need you in the lab. We've found something." Rushing through the icy corridors, her heart raced with anticipation. When she entered the lab, she found her team gathered around a large artifact, its surface now shimmering with a vibrant energy. "What happened?" she asked, her breath fogging in the chilled air. "We were running diagnostic scans when one of the techs accidentally touched it," Raj explained, his eyes wide with excitement. It reacted. Look." As Mira approached, she could see the patterns on the artifact pulsating rhythmically, as if it were breathing. She reached out hesitantly, her fingers brushing against the cool surface. Instantly, a surge of energy coursed through her, and the artifact's glow intensified, lighting the room in a kaleidoscope of colors. The air crackled with a strange, electric tension. "What did you feel?" Raj asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Mira pulled her hand back, stunned. "It felt alive, like it recognized me." The team gathered closer, their eyes locked on the artifact. Suddenly, the room was filled with a low humming sound, resonating deep within the core of the structure. Then, without warning, the artifact projected a holographic image into the air, a map of stars and celestial bodies, pulsing with life. This isn't just an artifact," Mira breathed, her mind racing. "It's a star map. But why is it showing us these specific coordinates?" Before anyone could respond, a warning light began to blink on the control panel. A loud alarm filled the lab, and Raj cursed under his breath. "We have to contain this. If it's activated, we don't know what else it might do." But it was too late. The ground shook violently as the ice above them cracked, sending reverberations through the base. Alarms blared, and the lights flickered. The team scrambled to regain control, but the artifact's glow intensified, blinding them momentarily. When the light subsided, they found themselves no longer in the lab, but standing on a vast, alien landscape. Strange vegetation surrounded them, light plants swaying in a gentle breeze under an indigo sky. In the distance, towering structures similar to their artifact loomed, casting long shadows across the terrain. "What just happened?" Mira gasped, her heart pounding. "We're somewhere else," Raj said, taking a cautious step forward. "The artifact must have teleported us." Mira scanned their surroundings, her scientific curiosity overtaking her fear. "Look at those structures. They might hold the answers we're looking for." As they moved cautiously toward the structures, the team couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. The air was thick with anticipation, and Mira could feel the artifact's energy still pulsing through her veins. The structures loomed closer, revealing intricate carvings that mirrored those on the artifact. Suddenly, a low growl echoed from behind them, sending chills down Mira's spine. Turning, she saw a massive creature emerging from the underbrush, its scales glistening in the otherworldly light. It was unlike anything she had ever seen, with 6 muscular limbs and glowing eyes that seemed to pierce through the darkness. "Run!" Raj shouted, and they sprinted toward the nearest structure, hearts racing. The creature roared, shaking the ground as it pursued them. Reaching the entrance of the structure, they stumbled inside, panting heavily. The interior was dimly lit, filled with the same pulsating energy that emanated from the artifact. Walls adorned with glowing symbols pulsed rhythmically, creating an atmosphere of urgency. Mira felt the artifact's energy pulling her deeper into the building, as if it was calling to her. "We have to find out what this place is," she shouted over the din of their racing hearts. The team navigated the twisting corridors, their path light by the glowing symbols. Finally, they entered a vast chamber at the heart of the structure, dominated by a colossal version of the artifact they had touched. It towered above them, its surface alive with patterns, shifting in mesmerizing patterns. "This must be their central control," Mira whispered, awe washing over her. "If we can interface with it, maybe we can understand what happened and how to get back." She approached the giant artifact, feeling the energy surging through her once more. As her fingers brushed its surface, the patterns exploded into a cascade of colors, and the room filled with a deafening roar. The holographic projection reappeared, showing not only the star map, but also symbols and images of the ancient civilization spaceships, technologies, and scenes of prosperity turned to chaos. "They were explorers, just like us," Mira said, piecing together the story. "But something went wrong. They must have activated their artifacts too." Before she could finish, the chamber trembled. The massive creature they had encountered had followed them, crashing through the entrance, teeth bared and eyes wild with rage. The ground shook with every step it took, and the energy from the artifact began to wane. "We need to get out," Raj yelled, but Mira was entranced. The patterns on the artifact were shifting rapidly, revealing another set of coordinates. "Wait, I think I can control it," she cried, placing both hands on the surface. The energy surged back, enveloping her in a cocoon of light. The creature lunged, and in that instant, the chamber erupted in brilliance. Mira felt herself being pulled apart and reassembled, the world around her dissolving into fragments of light. With a jarring snap, she found herself back in the lab, her team sprawled around her. The alarm was silent, and the artifact sat quietly, its glow diminished. The moment felt surreal, like waking from a dream. "Did we just?" Raj started, his voice shaky. Mira nodded, still catching her breath. "We were in their world, but we need to prepare. Whatever happened there isn't over." A sudden chill filled the room as the artifact began to hum again, its patterns flickering to life. Mira's heart raced. It was responding to her presence once more. She approached cautiously, her fingers outstretched. The artifact projected another holographic image, this time showing the creature they had encountered, now encircled by symbols of warning. It was a guardian, a sentinel meant to protect the remnants of the civilization that had once thrived. "We need to decode this," Mira said, adrenaline surging. "We have to understand what these artifacts truly are and why they responded to us." As she delved deeper into the data projected before her, the thrill of discovery washed over her, mingling with the danger that loomed ahead. They had awakened something ancient and powerful, and now it was up to them to decipher the mystery before it was too late. Outside, Europa's icy surface continued to glimmer under the distant glow of Jupiter, a silent witness to the incredible events unfolding beneath its frozen crust. The ancient tech was alive, and humanity was only beginning to scratch the surface of its secrets. As the initial shock of their sudden return settled, the team found themselves grappling with more than just the mysteries of the artifacts. The experience on the alien landscape had altered them in ways they hadn't anticipated, prompting personal growth and challenges that would test their relationships and resolve. Dr. Mira Albright, now 38, felt the weight of leadership pressing on her shoulders. She had always been driven by a thirst for knowledge, but her recent encounter had ignited something deeper in urgency to protect the fragile remnants of a civilization that had faced annihilation. In the days following their return, she immersed herself in research, deciphering the alien language embedded in the artifact's holograms, determined to unlock its secrets. Her closest colleague, Dr. Raj Patel, age 40, had always been her anchor, a voice of reason amidst the chaos. But now, after witnessing the danger they had narrowly escaped, he had changed. His playful skepticism had transformed into a cautious determination. He challenged Mira, pushing her to think critically about their findings. "We need to understand the implications of what we found," he urged. "If those artifacts could teleport us, what else could they do?" Mira nodded, recognizing that Raj was right. Their scientific curiosity needed to be tempered with caution. Yet, the intensity of their discussions began to reveal underlying tensions. Raj's desire for control clashed with Mira's instinctive need to explore. She found herself pulling away, doubting whether their relationship could withstand the pressures of their work. Meanwhile, Samantha Reyes, a 27-year-old field technician with a fierce passion for discovery, struggled to cope with the trauma of their experience. While Mira and Raj were consumed with deciphering the artifacts, Samantha faced nightmares of the creature they had encountered, its roar echoing in her mind. Despite her bravery, she felt small and powerless in the face of the unknown. She withdrew, avoiding the team's meetings, spending long hours alone in the lab. "Samantha, you need to talk about it," Mira finally said one afternoon, finding her hunched over a workbench, lost in thought. Samantha looked up, her eyes shadowed with fatigue. "What's there to talk about? I thought I was ready for this. I thought I could handle the unknown. But I couldn't even fight back." Mira sat down beside her. "You did what you could. We all did. But we can't let fear control us." Samantha sighed, her shoulders sagging. "I just feel like I'm not cut out for this anymore." "You are," Mira insisted. "You're one of the brightest technicians I know. We all face challenges that test us. This is just one of those moments." Slowly, their conversation opened a door for Samantha. She began sharing her thoughts, and as she spoke, Mira recognized her own struggles reflected in Samantha's fears. They were all grappling with uncertainty, but they had to lean on each other to push through. As the days turned into weeks, Mira organized a series of workshops aimed at fostering teamwork and resilience. The team gathered in the main common area, where she encouraged open dialogue about their experiences. Raj led discussions on the dangers of their discoveries, while Samantha shared her insights on the alien technology, revealing her expertise despite her earlier doubts. During these sessions, tensions began to ease, and the bonds between them strengthened. They learned to rely on one another, combining their skills and perspectives. Raj and Mira found a new rhythm, their arguments transforming into productive debates, with each appreciating the other's strengths. They forged a partnership built on trust, aligning their visions for the research ahead. One evening, as they wrapped up a particularly intense workshop, Raj looked at Mira, a mischievous glint in his eye. "How about we take a break? We've been at this for weeks. I propose a game night." Mira raised an eyebrow. "A game night? What, you think that will magically fix everything?" Raj grinned. "No, but laughter is the best medicine. Plus, it'll remind us we're still human." Reluctantly, Mira agreed, and they set up a small tournament with the remaining supplies from their base. The air filled with laughter as they played, the tension of their work temporarily forgotten. Even Samantha smiled, her laughter ringing through the room, revitalizing the team's spirit. In the midst of the games, Samantha caught Mira's gaze, her expression earnest. "You know, I thought I'd lost my way, but being here with you all, I realize I'm not alone. I can do this." Mira's heart swelled with pride. "You're not alone, Samantha. We're in this together." As the weeks turned into months, their relationship evolved into a family-like bond. They celebrated small victories, whether it was deciphering a section of the alien language or successfully conducting tests on the artifacts. Mira found herself drawing strength from her team, while Raj's calm demeanor helped keep her grounded. But with success came new challenges. The Interstellar Research Coalition, eager for results, began pressing for more frequent updates. Mira felt the pressure mounting. "They want answers, and they want them now," she confessed to Raj one evening. Raj frowned, concern etched on his face. "We need to be cautious. If we rush, we might miss something crucial." "I know, but I can't shake the feeling that time is running out," Mira replied, anxiety gnawing at her. As they delved deeper into the artifacts, Mira started to notice something strange. The patterns on the surfaces seemed to change in response to her emotional state, pulsing in rhythm with her heartbeat. The connection felt more profound than she had initially realized, suggesting that the artifacts were not merely technology, but something sentient. One night, while the rest of the team slept, Mira slipped into the lab to work on the artifact alone. As her fingers glided across the surface, she felt a warmth radiate from it, a soft humming resonating through her. She closed her eyes, allowing the energy to envelop her. Suddenly, visions flooded her mind, snapshots of the ancient civilization, their rituals, their joys, and their fears. She saw the moment they activated the technology that had ultimately led to their demise. The connection was powerful, as if the artifact was sharing its memories with her. She gasped, stumbling back as the images faded. "Mira, are you okay?" Raj's voice broke through the haze, pulling her back to reality. I don't know," she stammered, trembling. "It showed me things, Raj. Their history, their mistakes. We have to be careful." Raj's expression shifted from concern to determination. "Then we need to communicate this to the team. If these artifacts are alive in some way, we need to understand their intelligence." The next day, they gathered the team to share Mira's experience. As she recounted her vision, the room fell silent, the weight of her words settling in. "If we can connect with them, maybe we can prevent a repeat of the past," she concluded. Samantha, who had been listening intently, spoke up. "If they can communicate, maybe we can learn from them. We need to respect what they are." Mira nodded. "Exactly. We need to approach this with reverence. We're not just scientists, we're stewards of their legacy." The team spent weeks working on a method to establish a dialogue with the artifacts. They experimented with sound frequencies, light patterns, and even emotional triggers. Their bond deepened as they faced setbacks together, supporting one another through moments of doubt and frustration. On the night they finally succeeded, the lab was alive with energy. As they activated the artifact, the air shimmered, and a holographic image appeared, an ancient figure, its features regal yet weary, gazing down at them. The atmosphere shifted, filled with a profound sense of presence. Mira felt her heart race. "We're ready to listen," she said, her voice steady despite the enormity of the moment. The figure raised a hand, and the chamber pulsed with light. Visions flooded their minds again, but this time they were accompanied by feelings: hope, sorrow, and a deep yearning for understanding. The team collectively gasped, their emotions intertwined. "They want us to learn," Raj murmured, captivated. The figure gestured, revealing images of their civilization's rise and fall. It spoke not in words, but in feeling, conveying the essence of their existence. The team understood the gravity of their role. These artifacts were more than technology. They were the echoes of a lost civilization seeking redemption through connection. In the following weeks, Mira found herself profoundly changed. She became more attuned to her team, recognizing their strengths and vulnerabilities. Samantha blossomed into a confident technician, leading the charge in further experiments, while Raj's leadership style evolved into one that embraced collaboration, valuing the insights of each team member. However, challenges continued to mount. The coalition demanded results, and a shadow of doubt began to creep in. "What if they don't believe us?" Raj questioned one evening, frustration lacing his words. "They want data, and we can't provide it yet." Mira felt the weight of his words. "We have to show them the significance of what we're doing. We can't allow them to rush us. This is about more than just data, it's about understanding." As the deadline loomed, the team pulled together, pouring their hearts into a presentation that would convey their experiences and findings. They combined their research with emotional narratives, demonstrating the profound connection they had forged with the artifacts. One evening, while poring over data, Samantha made a breakthrough that left her breathless. "Mira, Raj, you have to see this," she called, her voice laced with excitement. Mira and Raj rushed into the lab, finding Samantha standing before a holographic display filled with data points and patterns. "Look at this," she said, pointing at the screen. "I've been analyzing the responses of the artifacts to different stimuli: light, sound, even emotional cues. There's a correlation. They respond strongest to specific frequencies that resonate with their energy patterns." Mira leaned closer, her eyes widening as she absorbed the information. "You're saying we can predict how they'll react?" "Exactly. If we can establish a stable communication frequency, we might be able to interact with them in a meaningful way. This could provide the concrete data the Coalition wants." Samantha's enthusiasm was infectious, and Mira felt a rush of hope. Raj stepped forward, his analytical mind racing. "If we can generate a sequence that resonates with the artifacts, we might even induce a more complex response. This could be our chance to really prove what we've been saying." As they worked late into the night, the atmosphere in the lab transformed. Laughter mingled with the hum of machinery, and for the first time in weeks, the weight of the Coalition's pressure felt manageable. Mira caught glimpses of Samantha's newfound confidence, which was inspiring for the entire team. Yet, amidst the excitement, Mira sensed an underlying tension between her and Raj. Their late-night discussions had become more personal, but the pressure of the impending deadline loomed large. One evening, as they wrapped up their latest experiment, Raj turned to her, concern etched on his face. "Mira, I know we've made great progress, but what if the Coalition still doesn't take us seriously? What if we fail?" She met his gaze, feeling the warmth of his concern. "We won't fail, Raj. We've come too far to turn back now. I believe in this team, and I believe in us." But as she said the words, a nagging doubt crept into her mind. What if their efforts weren't enough? The fear of failure lingered like a shadow, threatening to extinguish the hope they had kindled. Days turned into weeks, and the team's efforts culminated in a critical experiment. They set up a controlled environment, using the frequency patterns Samantha had discovered. The artifact pulsed softly, its glow shifting in response to their inputs. The moment felt electric, the air charged with possibility. "Here we go," Raj said, his voice steady. Mira watched as he activated the controls, and the artifact's glow intensified, sending ripples of energy through the chamber. The air crackled with tension, and for a moment, time seemed to stand still. Suddenly, the artifact erupted with brilliant light, projecting holograms of the ancient civilization's achievements, their people laughing and celebrating. The team stood in awe, their hearts racing. It was as if they were witnessing a memory, a living testament to the civilization's existence. Samantha's eyes sparkled with wonder. "This is incredible. They're sharing their joy with us." But amidst the awe, Mira felt a pang of sadness. But what happened to them? Why did they fall? The artifact flickered, the joyful images fading into scenes of chaos and destruction. The team gasped as the holograms revealed the civilization's last moments, the very mistakes they had sought to learn from. Mira felt tears prick her eyes. They failed to heed their own warnings. "We can't make the same mistakes." As the light dimmed, the room fell silent, the weight of the revelation settling heavily upon them. The artifacts were not just relics of a bygone era, they were lessons wrapped in sorrow. Mira realized the profound responsibility they now carried. They had to honor the past while forging a new path forward. In the following days, the team worked tirelessly to compile their findings into a comprehensive report for the Coalition. Mira took on the bulk of the writing, pouring her heart into the narrative. She articulated not only the scientific data, but also the emotional journey they had undergone, a testament to their growth and the urgency of their mission. Raj and Samantha contributed their insights, each bringing their unique perspectives to the document. As they collaborated, Mira witnessed a transformation in Samantha. She had blossomed from a hesitant technician into a vital member of the team, unafraid to share her thoughts and challenge ideas. However, as the deadline approached, the pressure began to mount once more. Raj grew increasingly restless, his frustrations bubbling to the surface. "We've put in all this work, and what if they still don't understand? What if they see us as just another team chasing after ghosts?" Mira felt the tension crackle in the air. "Then we make them understand. We show them what this means not just scientifically, but as a matter of humanity's future. But Raj shook his head, uncertainty clouding his expression. It's easy to say that when you're not the one facing the coalition. They don't care about our feelings, they want results. Samantha, who had been quietly listening, interjected. But isn't that what we've been doing? We've shown them what the artifacts can do, what they mean. We're not just chasing ghosts, we're trying to save the future. Her words hung in the air, cutting through the tension. Mira nodded, grateful for Samantha's insight. Exactly. We have to stand firm in our conviction. This is more than data, it's a call to action. The day of the presentation arrived, and the team stood before the coalition representatives once more, hearts pounding with anxiety and anticipation. As they presented their findings, Mira spoke with passion, recounting the emotional journey they had experienced and the lessons learned from the ancient civilization. Today, we stand at a crossroads, she said, her voice resonating through the room. What we've discovered is not merely technology, it's a bridge to a greater understanding of ourselves and our responsibilities. The artifacts are alive in ways we can't yet fully grasp, and they hold the key to preventing the mistakes of the past. Raj followed, his demeanor more confident than before. We've witnessed their legacy, and we must honor it. Our findings are a plea for caution and collaboration as we explore these artifacts. We cannot rush headlong into this without understanding the consequences. As Samantha spoke, she shared her personal growth and the role the team had played in her journey. This experience has taught me the value of connection, not just between us and the artifacts, but among ourselves. We've become a family, and together, we can navigate the complexities of what lies ahead. The coalition members listened intently, their expressions shifting from skepticism to intrigue. Mira sensed a change in the atmosphere, a willingness to consider their perspective. When the presentation concluded, the room was charged with an electric silence. Finally, one of the coalition leaders spoke, his voice measured. Your findings are compelling, and we recognize the significance of your work. We will allocate additional resources and support to further investigate these artifacts. But we need your commitment to approach this responsibly. We cannot afford to rush into the unknown. Mira felt a rush of relief wash over her. We promise to prioritize understanding above all else. Our mission is to learn and share, not just to conquer. As the representatives departed, the team erupted into celebration, tears of joy mingling with laughter. They had not only secured their future, but had forged deeper connections with one another in the process. In the following weeks, the team delved into their research with renewed vigor, now buoyed by the coalition's support. Mira and Raj continued to develop their relationship, exploring the uncharted territory between professionalism and personal connection. They began to share more than just their work, confiding in one another about their fears and hopes. One evening, as they worked late in the lab, Raj turned to Mira, a serious expression on his face. Can I be honest with you? I've been thinking about how much has changed since we started this project. You've changed me. I don't want to lose that. Mira's heart raced, and she met his gaze. You won't lose me, Raj. We're in this together, both in our work and our lives. I believe in what we're building. Their relationship deepened, the boundaries between friendship and romance blurring in a beautiful dance of discovery. They supported one another through late nights, navigating the complexities of their research while nurturing their growing connection. Meanwhile, Samantha found her place within the team as a respected voice. She led new experiments and contributed innovative ideas, earning the trust of both her colleagues and the coalition. Mira often caught glimpses of her blossoming confidence, a reminder of how far they had all come. One day, while they were conducting a particularly ambitious experiment, a pulse of energy surged from the artifact, sending waves of light cascading through the lab. Samantha gasped, her eyes wide with wonder. Look, it's reacting. The team rushed to the controls, excitement filling the air as they watched the artifact project, a new series of holograms images of their civilization's progress, interwoven with scenes of collaboration and connection. It was a message of hope, a glimpse of what could be achieved through understanding. Mira felt tears prick her eyes as she watched the holograms dance before them. "This is our future," she whispered, her heart swelling with pride. "Together, we can honor their legacy and create a better world." As they continued their work, the bond among the team deepened. Each member found their own path to growth and understanding. They faced challenges together, celebrated victories, and navigated the complexities of their evolving relationships, shaping not only their professional identities but also their personal lives. Mira, now 39, had fully embraced her role as a leader. The experience with the artifacts had transformed her into a figure of inspiration and resilience. Yet, with that responsibility came the weight of expectation. She often reflected on her initial motivations for exploring the stars, questioning whether her desire for discovery was overshadowed by the need to protect what they had uncovered. One late evening, while reviewing data in the lab, she felt a presence beside her. Raj, now 41, leaned against the doorway, watching her with concern. "You've been working too hard," he said softly. "You need to take a break." Mira looked up, a smile tugging at her lips despite the fatigue etched in her features. "I'm fine. We're on the brink of something extraordinary. I can't afford to stop now." Raj stepped closer, his voice earnest. "I know, but if you burn out, we lose everything you've worked for. We need you to be at your best." His words struck a chord, and she paused, considering the truth in them. "You're right," she admitted, the tension in her shoulders easing. "Maybe I do need to step back for a moment, but it's hard to let go when the stakes are so high." "We're in this together," he reassured her. "Let's take a walk. Clear our heads. We can't underestimate the power of perspective." Reluctantly, Mira agreed. As they strolled outside under the stars, the cool night air washed over them, refreshing her spirit. They talked about everything and nothing, their laughter blending with the soft rustle of leaves. In that moment, the burdens of leadership felt lighter, and Mira realized how much she relied on Raj, not just as a colleague, but as a partner. Meanwhile, Samantha, now 28, continued to flourish within the team. She had stepped into a leadership role of her own, organizing experiments and guiding discussions. The confidence she exuded was palpable, and she had become a source of encouragement for her teammates, often reminding them of the emotional connections they had forged with the artifacts. One afternoon, while leading a brainstorming session, Samantha noticed Raj sitting quietly at the back, a pensive look on his face. She paused mid-sentence, her intuition telling her something was off. "Raj, are you okay?" she asked, concern lacing her voice. He looked up, surprised. "I'm fine. Just thinking." Samantha tilted her head, not convinced. "You've been awfully quiet lately. You know you can share what's on your mind, right?" Raj hesitated, then sighed. "It's just the pressure. I want to contribute more, but I'm feeling overwhelmed. I keep worrying about the coalition, and I don't want to let anyone down." Her heart ached for him. "You're not alone in this. We're all feeling the pressure, but you've already contributed so much. Your insights have helped shape our direction. Don't underestimate your impact." Raj smiled slightly, gratitude flickering in his eyes. "Thanks, Sam. I appreciate that. It helps to hear it." As their relationship deepened, Samantha and Raj found a unique camaraderie, a friendship that balanced support and challenge. They began collaborating on experiments, pushing each other's boundaries and sharing ideas. The chemistry between them was electric, and it revitalized Raj's spirit. However, with their growing connections came moments of vulnerability and conflict. Mira, feeling the strain of her dual role as leader and friend, sometimes found herself caught in the middle. One evening, after a particularly intense day of research, tensions flared during a team meeting. "I don't understand why we're not prioritizing the artifact's communication patterns," Samantha argued, frustration coloring her tone. "This could unlock so much." Raj countered, his voice rising. "But we need to focus on the data that the coalition wants. We can't ignore their requirements." Mira felt the heat of their argument rising, and she interjected, trying to mediate. Both of your perspectives are valid, but we have to find a balance between what we need to explore and what we must provide." Samantha crossed her arms, frustration evident. "It feels like we're sacrificing discovery for bureaucracy." Raj sighed, running a hand through his hair. "And it feels like we're risking everything if we ignore the Coalition's expectations." The tension hung in the air, and Mira's heart raced as she tried to steer the discussion back to a productive path. "Let's take a step back. We can outline a plan that addresses both our scientific curiosity and the Coalition's demands. There has to be a way to meet in the middle." As the meeting ended, Mira took Samantha aside. "I know this is frustrating for you, but we're all under pressure. We need to be patient with each other." Samantha nodded, her expression softening. "I just want to make sure we don't lose sight of what's important. I don't want to get bogged down by politics." "Me neither," Mira agreed, "but we also need to be strategic. This is about more than just us, it's about the future of humanity." In the days that followed, the team worked diligently to create a plan that balanced their scientific exploration with the Coalition's requirements. Samantha led efforts to synthesize their findings into a clear narrative that showcased both their data and emotional connections with the artifacts. Raj's analytical skills played a crucial role in framing their research in a way that would appeal to the Coalition's need for tangible results. Their collaboration paid off, and the team managed to present a cohesive report that resonated with the Coalition members. As they reviewed their work, Mira felt a sense of pride in what they had achieved together. The emotional and intellectual growth they had experienced had brought them closer, solidifying their relationships. One night, after submitting their report, the team gathered for a celebratory dinner. The atmosphere was light, filled with laughter and camaraderie as they toasted to their hard work. Mira looked around the table, her heart swelling with gratitude. "I couldn't have done this without all of you. This team is everything to me." Raj raised his glass, his expression earnest. "To our journey, and to the incredible bonds we've built. We're more than colleagues, we're a family." Samantha chimed in, her voice bright. "And to the future, we've only scratched the surface of what these artifacts can teach us." As they clinked glasses, Mira felt a surge of hope. Their journey was far from over, and the challenges they had faced had only strengthened their resolve. They were committed to honoring the legacy of the ancient civilization while forging their own path forward. However, the next challenge came swiftly. Days after their successful presentation, the Coalition summoned them for an urgent meeting. As the team sat before the representatives, Mira sensed the gravity of the situation. The lead representative addressed them, a serious tone in his voice. "We've reviewed your report, and while we appreciate the insights you've provided, we must stress the need for immediate results. We are under pressure to produce findings that can be applied to current technologies." Mira felt her heart drop. "What do you mean by immediate results?" "We need you to demonstrate the artifact's practical applications within the next month," the representative stated. "We understand that this is a significant request, but our funding depends on it." Raj's voice rose in disbelief. "You want us to rush our research? That's dangerous. We don't even fully understand their capabilities." The representative's expression hardened. "We understand your concerns, but the reality is that funding is tied to results. You must deliver." As the team left the meeting, frustration boiled over. "They're putting us in a corner," Samantha fumed. "This is exactly what I was worried about." Raj ran a hand through his hair, his voice tight with anger. "We can't compromise our integrity for their deadlines. This isn't just a project, it's about the future." Mira felt the tension in the air, the weight of responsibility pressing heavily on her shoulders. "We have to find a way to communicate our concerns without jeopardizing our funding. We need to be strategic." But as they discussed their options, Mira felt a rift forming between them. Each member was grappling with their own fears and frustrations, and the pressure was causing stress fractures in their once unbreakable bond. In the following weeks, they attempted to balance their research with the demands of the Coalition, but the strain began to take its toll. Mira found herself working long hours, often alone, feeling the weight of the world on her shoulders. Raj and Samantha, though supportive, also felt the burden of expectations, their own passions for the project, sometimes clashing in the heat of frustration. One evening, after another exhausting day, Mira found herself sitting in the lab, staring at the artifacts. The room was dimly lit, and the soft glow of the artifacts felt oddly comforting. Suddenly, she heard a soft knock at the door. Raj entered, his expression somber. "Hey, I thought I'd find you here." Mira sighed, leaning back in her chair. "I can't help but think we're losing sight of what's important. We're so focused on deadlines that we're forgetting why we started this in the first place." Raj nodded, taking a seat across from her. "I've been feeling the same way." Mira and Raj sat in the dim light of the lab, their faces light by the soft glow of the artifacts. The weight of their circumstances felt like an anchor, pulling them deeper into doubt and frustration. "I don't want to just be another project manager," Mira said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I want this to mean something. The lessons from the ancient civilization are too important to dilute for the sake of funding." Raj leaned forward, resting his elbows on the table. "You're right, but we have to find a way to present our work in a way they can't ignore. If we don't secure the funding, all of this," he gestured to the artifacts, "could vanish. We need to be strategic about how we communicate our findings." Mira nodded, a sense of determination rekindling within her. "We can present our data while still emphasizing the need for caution. We have to make them understand that rushing this could lead to catastrophic mistakes." Their conversation shifted from frustration to strategy, and they began to brainstorm ways to convey their message effectively. Mira felt the tension in her shoulders ease as they collaborated, their synergy reigniting the passion that had initially drawn them together. Meanwhile, Samantha, now 28, was wrestling with her own doubts. She had become a prominent voice in their research team, but the pressure of expectations weighed heavily on her. One day, after an intense meeting with the coalition, she found herself pacing in the lab, anxiety coursing through her veins. Raj, noticing her distress, approached her. "Samantha, are you okay? You seem overwhelmed." She stopped and turned to him, her expression tense. "I just feel like everything is falling apart. We're supposed to have results, but I don't want to compromise our integrity. What if we produce something that doesn't reflect the true nature of the artifacts?" Raj's heart ached for her. "You're not alone in this. We're all feeling the pressure, but we can't lose sight of why we're here. We're uncovering something extraordinary, and we owe it to ourselves and to the artifacts to do it right." Samantha took a deep breath, feeling Raj's sincerity wash over her like a balm. "You're right. I want to make a difference. I don't want this to be another failure in my life." Raj's expression softened. "You're not a failure. You're an integral part of this team, and your voice matters. We'll figure this out together." As their friendship deepened, Samantha found comfort in Raj's unwavering support. They began to collaborate more closely, their ideas intertwining in ways that sparked creativity and innovation. However, with this closeness came a vulnerability that Samantha hadn't anticipated. She admired Raj, not just as a colleague, but as someone who embodied resilience. It made her question her own self-worth. One evening, as they worked late, Raj looked over at Samantha, his brow furrowed with thought. "You know, you've been a driving force in this project. I couldn't have navigated the last few weeks without your insights. You have a talent for seeing connections that others miss." Samantha felt a warm flush at his words, gratitude swelling in her chest. "Thank you, Raj. That means a lot coming from you. I guess I'm just scared of letting everyone down." Raj shook his head. "You won't. We're in this together, and I believe in you." Their bond continued to evolve, and with it, the dynamic within the team shifted. Mira, feeling the connection between Samantha and Raj, began to navigate her own feelings. At 39, she often found herself questioning whether she was fostering growth within her team or stifling it. Their relationships were becoming more intricate, and she wanted to ensure that the passion they shared remained genuine. The coalition meeting loomed closer, and the pressure was mounting. The team had been working tirelessly to present their findings in a way that highlighted the importance of responsible exploration. Mira, Raj, and Samantha spent hours refining their presentation, merging scientific data with emotional narratives. The night before the presentation, they gathered in the lab, exhaustion etched on their faces but determination burning in their eyes. "This is it," Mira said, glancing at her teammates. "We have to show them that what we're doing matters, not just for us, but for the future." Raj nodded, his gaze steady. "Let's focus on the key takeaways. We need to make it clear that we're not just presenting technology, we're sharing a legacy." Samantha, feeling the weight of her role, added, "And we must emphasize the importance of taking our time. Rushing could lead to disastrous consequences." They rehearsed late into the night, the camaraderie between them palpable. Mira felt a renewed sense of hope as they supported one another, their individual strengths shining through. They were more than colleagues, they had become a family, navigating the complexities of their work and relationships. The day of the presentation arrived, and Mira stood at the front of the room, flanked by Raj and Samantha. The coalition representatives watched them intently, the air thick with anticipation. Mira's heart raced as she began to speak, her voice steady and resolute. "Thank you for giving us the opportunity to present our findings. What we have discovered goes beyond technology, it's a call to action. The artifacts we've uncovered are not mere relics. They are a bridge to understanding our past, our mistakes, and our future." As Mira shared their narrative, Raj presented the data that highlighted the artifacts' potential applications, emphasizing the importance of a careful, measured approach. Samantha added personal anecdotes about their experiences, weaving a story of connection that resonated deeply with the audience. By the end of their presentation, the room was silent, the coalition representatives exchanging thoughtful glances. Mira felt a surge of hope as one of the representatives finally spoke. "Your presentation was compelling. You've managed to articulate not only the scientific value, but also the emotional weight of your findings. We appreciate your commitment to responsible exploration, and we will support your request for extended funding." Relief washed over Mira, Raj, and Samantha, and they exchanged glances filled with triumph. They had not only secured their future, but also reaffirmed the importance of their mission. After the meeting, as they celebrated their success, Mira felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. "I couldn't have done this without you both. This journey has changed me in ways I never expected." Raj smiled warmly. "We've all grown together, and we still have so much more to explore." Samantha nodded, her eyes shining with excitement. "This is just the beginning. We've only scratched the surface of what we can learn." In the weeks that followed, the team delved deeper into their research, the atmosphere in the lab buoyed by their recent success. They embraced their roles with newfound confidence, each member flourishing in their respective areas. Mira's leadership became more focused on collaboration, encouraging her teammates to voice their ideas and opinions. One evening, as they worked late, Mira noticed Raj and Samantha engaged in a spirited discussion. Their banter was playful yet passionate, and she felt a surge of warmth watching their friendship blossom. It reminded her of her own journey with Raj, and she felt a pang of nostalgia. As the weeks turned into months, the team faced new challenges, but they approached each obstacle with resilience. They learned to communicate openly, tackling conflicts head-on rather than allowing them to fester. Samantha found her voice, speaking up in meetings and pushing for her ideas to be heard. Raj continued to provide support, offering insights that bridged gaps in their understanding. However, as their bond deepened, Mira began to wrestle with her feelings for Raj. At 39, she found herself drawn to him in ways that were both thrilling and terrifying. She cherished their connection, but feared that romantic feelings might complicate their professional relationship. One evening, after a successful day of research, Mira and Raj found themselves alone in the lab. The atmosphere was charged with unspoken tension, and Mira felt her heart race as she glanced at him. "I'm glad we've come this far," she said, her voice soft. I couldn't have asked for better teammates. Raj stepped closer, his gaze steady. You've been an incredible leader, Mira. I admire your strength and dedication. Her breath caught in her throat. Thank you, Raj. That means a lot to me. For a moment, they stood in silence, the weight of their shared experiences hanging between them. Mira felt a pull toward him, a desire to bridge the gap that had formed between friendship and something more. But the fear of jeopardizing their relationship held her back. Mira, Raj said, breaking the silence, there's something I've been wanting to talk about. Her heart raced. What is it? I've been thinking about how much our relationship has evolved, he began, his voice steady. And I can't help but feel that we're building something special, but I also don't want to complicate our work. Mira felt a rush of emotions, hope mingled with fear. I've felt that too, Raj. But I'm scared. What if it doesn't work? What if it affects our work? Raj took a step closer, his eyes searching hers. I believe we can navigate this. We've built a foundation of trust and support. I want to explore this with you, but I also understand if you're not ready. Mira stood in the lab, her heart racing at Raj's words. The air was thick with possibility and apprehension. She had always admired his dedication, his unwavering support, and the way he made her feel understood. But the prospect of stepping into a romantic relationship filled her with uncertainty. Raj, she began, her voice steadying as she met his gaze. I care about you deeply, and I don't want to jeopardize what we've built together. But I also don't want to ignore what's happening between us. Raj's expression softened, a mix of relief and hope flickering in his eyes. I feel the same way. Our connection goes beyond friendship, but we should be cautious, especially given the pressures we face. Mira nodded, appreciating his thoughtfulness. Let's take it slow, then. I want to explore this, but I want to ensure it doesn't interfere with our work or our team dynamics. Agreed, Raj said, a smile breaking across his face. I'm glad we can talk about this. No matter what happens, our work is important, and I don't want to lose that. With that, they both felt a weight lift from their shoulders, and the bond that had been blossoming between them took a new turn. As they continued their work, they embraced a newfound intimacy that deepened their understanding of one another, both as colleagues and as potential partners. As summer unfolded, the team faced a new challenge. The coalition had increased pressure for rapid results, pushing them to deliver findings that could be immediately applied to current technologies. Mira felt the stress creeping back into their dynamic as deadlines loomed. One afternoon, during a strategy session, Samantha voiced her frustrations. I'm tired of compromising our integrity for their timelines. We need to stand firm in our approach to research. Raj, who had been quiet until then, nodded in agreement. Samantha's right. We can't rush this. If we do, we risk overlooking critical aspects of the artifacts. Mira looked between them, feeling the weight of leadership pressing down on her. I understand where both of you are coming from, but we also have to recognize the reality we're in. If we don't deliver, we might lose everything we've worked for. But what does that even mean? Samantha countered, her voice rising. Are we really going to sacrifice our principles for the sake of a deadline? Mira took a deep breath, trying to maintain her composure. I'm not saying we should abandon our principles, but we have to find a way to meet their expectations while still honoring our research. Tension crackled in the air as they discussed their options, but the disagreement highlighted the stress that had been building within the team. Mira felt caught between her role as a leader and her desire to support her friends. After the meeting, she took Raj aside, needing his perspective. Do you think we're losing our way? She asked, concern etched on her features. Raj considered her words carefully. I think we're under a lot of pressure, and it's natural to feel overwhelmed. But we can't let that pressure dictate our choices. We need to remind ourselves of why we're here. His words resonated with Mira, and she realized that they needed to reconnect with their original vision. You're right. We need to refocus on our mission. Let's schedule a team retreat to clear our heads and remind ourselves of our goals. Raj smiled, the tension easing in his expression. I think that's a great idea. A day away from the lab could do us all some good. The team retreat was set for a secluded spot in the mountains, surrounded by nature's beauty. As they arrived, Mira felt a sense of anticipation. It was an opportunity for everyone to reconnect, not only with their research, but with one another. After setting up their campsite, they gathered around a crackling fire under a starlit sky. The atmosphere was relaxed, laughter echoing through the trees as they shared stories and memories. Mira watched as Raj and Samantha exchanged playful banter, their camaraderie infectious. Later that evening, as the fire flickered, Mira gathered everyone around. I know we've been under a lot of stress lately, but I want us to take this time to remember why we started this journey. The artifacts aren't just data points. They hold the stories of a civilization that came before us. Let's reflect on what that means. As they sat in a circle, each member shared their thoughts. Samantha spoke passionately about her connection to the artifacts, recalling moments that had moved her deeply. Raj shared his experiences of working alongside Mira, highlighting her leadership and vision. Mira listened, her heart swelling with pride and gratitude for the team they had built together. As the night wore on, Mira found herself alone with Raj by the fire. The flames danced between them, casting shadows on their faces. I'm really glad we did this, she said, her voice soft. Me too, Raj replied, his gaze earnest. It's reminded me of what truly matters. We need to protect that. Mira nodded, feeling a spark of inspiration. Let's take this momentum back to the lab. We'll approach our work with renewed energy and commitment. As they returned to the campsite, Raj's hand brushed against hers, igniting a rush of emotions within her. She looked at him, heart racing, and found him watching her intently. I really appreciate you, Mira. You inspire me every day. Her breath caught in her throat, and she felt a warmth spread through her. I appreciate you too, Raj, more than you know. Back at the lab, the atmosphere shifted. With their renewed focus, the team approached their work with a sense of purpose. They set specific goals, emphasizing both the importance of their research and the integrity of their findings. One afternoon, Samantha burst into the lab, excitement radiating from her. You won't believe what I found. There's a pattern in the artifact's inscriptions that could indicate a communication system. Mira and Raj exchanged glances, curiosity piqued. Show us, Raj urged, his enthusiasm contagious. As Samantha explained her discovery, Mira felt a surge of hope. This could be the breakthrough they needed, a way to bridge their findings with the Coalition's expectations without compromising their principles. Over the next few weeks, they worked tirelessly, collaborating to decode the inscriptions. The atmosphere in the lab became electric, fueled by the thrill of discovery. Mira marveled at how far they had come, both as researchers and as friends. However, as they delved deeper into their work, tensions began to arise once more. Raj and Samantha found themselves at odds over the interpretation of the data. Raj was cautious, advocating for a careful approach, while Samantha was eager to share their findings with the Coalition, feeling the urgency of their timeline. One afternoon, during a particularly heated discussion, Mira felt the tension escalate. Can we please take a step back? We're all on the same team here. Samantha crossed her arms, frustration evident. I just don't understand why we're hesitating. This is groundbreaking. And if we rush it, we risk misinterpreting the data, Raj countered, his voice steady but firm. We have to be responsible. Mira intervened, feeling the need to mediate. Let's focus on finding common ground. Samantha, can you share your perspective on why this is important to you? And Raj, can you express your concerns without it feeling like an attack? As they opened the floor for discussion, Mira noticed a shift. They began to listen to one another, their shared passion for the research rekindling the collaborative spirit that had initially drawn them together. Afterward, Mira took Raj aside, needing to understand his feelings. I can see how passionate Samantha is about this. Do you think we're stifling her enthusiasm? Raj sighed, running a hand through his hair. No, but I worry that we might be losing our focus. It's a delicate balance." Mira nodded, appreciating his perspective. "You're right. We have to ensure that enthusiasm doesn't overshadow our responsibility. We can guide her without diminishing her passion." As autumn approached, the team finally reached a breakthrough. They successfully decoded the communication patterns within the artifacts, unveiling a wealth of knowledge about the ancient civilization. The exhilaration of discovery filled the lab, a shared joy that transcended the earlier tensions. Mira felt a sense of fulfillment as they prepared to present their findings to the coalition. The presentation emphasized not only the scientific implications but also the emotional narratives behind their research. They highlighted the artifacts as a reflection of humanity's journey, inviting the coalition to see their importance beyond mere technology. On the day of the presentation, Mira stood before the coalition representatives, Raj and Samantha by her side. As she spoke passionately about their discoveries, she could feel the energy in the room shift. The representatives listened intently, nodding as she emphasized the need for responsible exploration. After the presentation, the lead representative approached them with a smile. "Your findings are impressive. We're excited to support your work further and explore the implications of your discoveries." Relief washed over Mira, and she exchanged glances with Raj and Samantha, their expressions mirroring her joy. They had not only secured their funding, but also reaffirmed the value of their mission.